Bum 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 bum. That's not the song I had when I was washing up, but when I was writing earlier, I suddenly noticed it sort of crept into my awareness, and still can't remember what the song was when I was washing up. It's 08:46, Monday the 23rd of May 2011, and it's my birthday tomorrow. And I'm 48. How did that happen? That's the question I've asked myself quite a lot. I don't feel like I'm 2 years off 50, and sometimes I feel like I'm older than that, but I don't know, I think I'm quite an eternal teenager in many ways. Since I did the settee, by the way, it was all lovely. Now he's been lying on the back of it again, and he's on that one. I can't stop him. No, he's barking. I'm ignoring it. It has put me off my concentration. That's it. Words. It's kind of. I used to hate it when it first started happening, when all of a sudden I'd be unable to transfer my thoughts into words. Something I haven't written on Facebook about yet. I've been writing quite well. I've also been writing on Diary of a Benefit Scrounger as well, about how could they make the system fair. Assessing by proper doctors, our own doctors who know us, is one thing, obviously, and treating us as human beings is another. And I also wrote on a thread about rape, about how it's been in the news about not so serious rape sort of thing, and I wrote a little bit about that, which also led into a bit of the post-traumatic stress. I hate to call it disorder, because it was natural responses, and natural responses to also not being supported through that enough. The second time I was supported through more, but only because I went to college, not through the NHS. And had I been claiming incapacity at the time, rather than being a single parent and in college, which I was so grateful that I was able to do, because I know that single people can't actually go to college while they're fit for work. They get caught in a catch-22 where they can't train and claim benefits, yet a single parent can. I mean, the system does need to be made fair. I mean, I wasn't given any more through the system to do that, and it did incur costs, and some of them were met by the college's kind of charity. I can't think of the name of what the fund was. But all these things, if they were made easier, people's conditions might improve enough for them to take a more active part in society. I think I've wandered off on a tangent now. What was I going to talk about? Doesn't really matter anyway, does it? It's all important, but like I was saying the other day, I really quite like that one. That was yesterday, wasn't it? Sunday. Prompts help when your mind goes blank. Sometimes you have to sift through a sea of shit to find a gem. So, do you just see the shit, or do you look for the gem? I look for the gem. And it really is okay to dive into the shit, to sift and have a bit of a moan about it while you are. It's all part of the process. And then I watched loads of movies. Well, I didn't properly watch them, but I enjoyed the bits I caught, and I mainly caught some of my favourite bits of each film. Accidental Hero, It Could Happen to You, Trainspotting, Matchmaker, Michael. I love Johnny, not Johnny. Yeah, Johnny Travolta. As the Archangel Michael. Anyway, When Harry Met Sally, and then the Blues Brothers, and I fell asleep not long after that. I'd woken up at 9 o'clock Saturday after falling asleep on the settee about 1 o'clock, I think. Yeah, about 8 hours. And I hadn't had sleep for about 30 hours before that, if I remember rightly. But I'm losing track because it's been one of those weekends where I haven't seen anybody, and I've just been working through things, and I've been writing, and I've been thinking about things, and I've done things like washing up and making myself that special meal. I made a lovely meal. I'd got mashed potato and cabbage from when I had a meal with Mum on Thursday, and I put that in the grill after cooking 2 pork chops and with 3 chipolatas, and I made onion gravy, and while I was making it I washed up as well. It's like it was reminded me a little bit of what I used to be like. I used to, the washing up used to get left sometimes, but I was busy when I was in college and when I was trying to work. But it was never so much of a huge thing as being able to do something like that is now. And if I didn't have days where I'm able to do a little bit more, the days when I can do very little would be worse and probably prolonged. A little support would go a long way. A little regular support, but getting that support in the appropriate way seems quite impossible in this system, although some people seem to manage it, and that's great. I love it when people have got systems that work for them and the support that works for them. Actually going through not having that has taught me a lot about what it's like for me, and talking about it on Facebook and on Blogger, and getting involved with people telling their stories and saying how much effort they've put into trying to work and how much they want to work, just similar and different and like my story. And my story that I was saying today on a link made someone's mum cry reading it, and it's like some people feel sorry for me, and other people look at me as if I'm just useless, and it's not affecting me the same way as it used to anymore. I guess one of the biggest tests on that is going to be when I get the medical forms through and the medical assessment again. And I mean, like I've spoken about, or at least written about, the idea of sitting in a room on my own with the second man who raped me, or the first one. I wouldn't know who he was if I met him. He might remember me, he might recognise me, because people still can from when I was a teenager. No, this is a bit serious, isn't it? Serious is alright, you know, as long as it's balanced out with frivolity and joy. Yeah, that probably doesn't sound appropriate mid talking about sitting in a room. I've forgotten what I was talking about. Sitting in a room with the man who raped me. And that's partly the reason I forgot about that is because sitting in the room with the man who assessed me last year is, well, I think I'm alright, I'm safe, I'm not in that assessment room. And I might not even see him. It might be a different assessor, it might be a fair assessor. I don't think I've got anything more to say for now.